You ever feel like you got close to where God wanted you to be, and it seems like you suffered a setback? You ever felt like the next door to open was going to be the place that God really wanted you to be? Like you was right about to step into your destiny, and then a choice was made that was out of your control, and it seems like it took you back 4 years? What you call a setback, God calls a test. And not simply a test, a character test. This is the quality assurance of your heart. I have to know that you're okay with my plan in my timing. I need to know you're not going to get mad when this doesn't go the way you thought it was going to go.
I get the vibe that you're distant. There's something about you that's different. I see it in your eyes. Something isn't right. Tell me again what I'm missing.
Takoradi, here we are!
Feels, almost don't remember how it feels when you lay down in an open field, when your summer dreams are turning real, so unreal. Do you like it better when the ocean's warm? Do you like it better when you see the sun? Do you like it better when the sky is blue? I know I do. In a summer state of mind, we'd be wasted all the time. In a summer state of mind, in a summer state of mind. Hands, put 'em in the sky, raise your hands. We ain't got no worries, only plans.
Hey guys, have you missed me? I hope you have. So in the beginning of this vlog, I shared a word, and you're probably thinking, why did she add that to the video? Here's why. So I recently watched a movie on Netflix. It's called Look Both Ways. If you haven't watched it, I think you should. It's quite an interesting movie. It's basically about a girl at a party, her graduation party, and they give like a parallel storyline where there's one moment where she has a pregnancy scare. So she does the urine pregnancy test, and they show us a moment where the pregnancy test is negative, and she goes on with her life. She planned to move out of her city, go on, be an artist, and start life as a young adult. They also show us the side where the pregnancy test is positive, and she has to be a new mom with an equally clueless boy she just had a one-night stand with, and it unravels of balancing being a mother, being frustrated, trying to follow her dreams. And there's also the other side of her being a single girl, single young adult, exploring life as she thought or dreamt it to be. At the end, they showed her looking at both worlds, where she was a mother, and it ended up pretty good. I mean, considering she was a first-time mom and everything, it ended up really good. And then they also show us the point where the artist part also comes to meet the mother, and they were both well. Like, both sides were okay. And it got me thinking of how, as human beings, we are always planning of what we want our lives to be. We always plan of how we think our life should go. I know this year I had so much planned for this year, and none of that happened like I wanted it to. But then I'm also reminded that the plans that I have for myself are not the plans of God. But then the movie also reminds me that both ways, it would end up right. I'm bringing up this movie because one thing I took home from the movie was that sometimes we plan our lives out and we think, this is how I want my life to be. By this age, I should have this. By this age, I should have that. And sometimes it's pretty straightforward. We think, when I follow this plan, or when I follow how I have laid out my life, or how I've laid out the next few days, in the next couple of months or even years, things should line up the way I've planned it. And the movie is a reality check of how it doesn't always go how you want it to. But you have to, while in the process, I mean, we don't know what the end is, right? But while in the process of trying to figure it out or trying to look the other way, maybe you wanted to turn left, but it ended up turning right. While you're still on this path of trying to figure things out, if you know that at the end of the day it's going to look good, at the end of the day God's got you, you will be fine. It's funny how I went to church and my pastor was preaching about something similar, and he shared a Bible verse, Jeremiah 29 verse 11, of how it's only God that knows the plans that he has for us, and they are plans of prosperity. They are not plans of evil. They are not plans of disaster. They are plans of hope and not sorrow. And it's just like what happened in the movie. When the pregnancy test was negative, she got a chance to be who she wanted to be, a young adult trying to figure out life in a different city away from home, and quote unquote YOLOing all the time. But there was also the aspect of her being a mother when the pregnancy test was positive, and she was also fine. When the movie ended, you saw that both lives were okay, both lives were worth choosing. It just shows how you might be going through something right now. You might not see the light right now. You might be going through a process and you're not really sure where are you going, where are you heading. Just know that last, God's got you. Last, it will end well. Last, if God says that the plans he has for you are not of pain, are not of disaster, you know that your future is secure no matter the turn that it takes. And I'm not saying go and make bad decisions and say, oh, it would end up right. No, like, you do your best, but don't be too caught up in the uncontrolled aspects of our lives when you know that there's nothing you can do about it. You're getting worried and you're getting walked over, because that's how I feel right now. But I'm also reminded that even though I don't like the process that I'm going through right now, I know that the end would be beautiful, because God has promised me that whatever plans he has for me, whether I know it or I don't know it, whether I'm still discovering it or not, they are plans of joy, they are plans of prosperity. And that alone, I think, should be enough, because who are we living for if not for God? So if God himself is telling you relax, who are you to worry? I hope you enjoy the rest of the vlog. This was just a message that was on my heart and I wanted to share with you guys.
Told you so extra, but I know I'm the same, yeah. Love me in spite of my trauma. Give me what I need instead of the drama. Cause when it pop off, it's like, oh my. All good all day, but the night we be going so hard on the flip side. So tell me what we on a day, babe. I could keep that same energy. When you go low, I go low too. But you'd rather stay high, I know you. Can we stay high, babe? I'd rather be on that wave, tryna control our emotions. If we on the right side of passion, we could share love in the ocean. But if you wanna go insane, either way, baby, we could go all night. We've said our goodbyes.